Joined now by Roch Kubatko. Check him out at MASNsports.com, the School of Roch. Now, it was interesting. Walked out here about 20 to 6, and the lineup board in the press box had 5 names on there, and I saw you lobbying to get into the lineup tonight. I was a little concerned about that, but what's going on with all these injuries?
Yeah, I thought I could play second and bat leadoff. That didn't happen. Yeah, we've got 3 guys really to update, and most importantly, Brian Roberts. That's the reason the lineup wasn't even posted till after 5:30. He received more treatment on his right knee. He hit in the indoor cage, and it wasn't until later they determined he wasn't going to start tonight. Robert Andino will take his place. Just basically contusion day to day, of course, but he wanted to stay in the game last night after being hit in the 8th inning, and Buck Showalter said he didn't like the way Brian was moving during Robert Andino's at-bat. Took him out as a precaution. He's going to miss at least this game. And at this point, you feel sorry for Brian. Masson could have a contest, name all of Brian's injuries and ailments, and get a free trip to Sarasota. I mean, they need to pack this guy in ice, wrap him in bubble wrap, and just thaw him out in February. It's just been a really tough year for him. I feel sorry for him. So he's out of the lineup. Brian Matusz will try and throw tomorrow. Of course, he got hit on the left tricep. He's got some bruising, a little bit of swelling, a little soreness, but he doesn't think he's going to miss a start. That certainly isn't the plan at this point. At the very worst, they may slot him in another spot in the rotation to give him an extra day or two without him missing a turn. They think that's all they might have to do with him. But like I said, he'll try and throw tomorrow. There's no talk about shutting him down because of this bruise. Now, eventually they will shut him down. It won't be because of this, however. So it looks like he kind of dodged a more serious injury. And finally, Julio Lugo. He underwent an MRI today because he's got those recurring headaches that we thought were related to him getting hit by that pickoff throw in the batting helmet in Anaheim way back on August 29th. MRI eliminated a lot of the fears that the Orioles had. Turns out, according to Buck Showalter, Lugo's dealing with a chronic sinus infection. And I'm not a doctor, though I play one on the blog. I believe it's called sinusitis.
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 I know all about that.
You know about that,
yes.
Of course. So at this point, there's no talk of shutting him down. There's also no talk of bringing up another middle infielder. Andy McPhail did ask Showalter if he thought he might need one. Buck figures, with Andino, Torres, Wigginton, they should be covered okay.
Well, it's been a tough pollen season. I know what he's going through, so I can understand that.
Right.
And it's kind of interesting. Andino lost his job in spring training to Lugo, and now the Orioles are fortunate to have Andino here because Lugo can't get in the lineup. Now, a couple of weeks from now, we'll all be voting for the most valuable Oriole. And this year, it's pretty interesting. There's some factions for different players on the team. Who do you think is the leader in this who might get the most support?
Well, I don't know if it's a secret ballot, but I'm going to come right out and say, unless there's a drastic change, Luke Scott still gets my vote. I think that's true of most of the writers who cover the team that I've talked to. There's been some talk that he might be one of those rare, unanimous choices. However, Jeremy Guthrie is getting some consideration, and it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up finishing as a runner-up if he doesn't pass Luke. For the simple reason, I know people say, well, he's 10-13. How can you pick a pitch with a sub-500 record? This team's had the worst record in the American League most of the season. They're not brimming with candidates. You got to consider his 3.74 ERA is better than the league average of 4.10. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 of his last 11 starts. He's 7-3 with a 2.29 ERA in the second half. He's clearly emerged as the staff ace right now. And I'm sure there are a lot of teams that really wish they had traded for him during the deadline. So Guthrie's going to get a lot of consideration. I'm still going with Luke Scott, however. I think his consistency, along with the 281 average, the 26 homers, 65 RBIs, let's face it, he's been a very streaky player in the past. He's hit 274 in the first half, 291 in the second half. He's been much more consistent. I think he's going to get the majority of the votes, but Jeremy Guthrie easily could be the runner-up now.
I think Nick Markakis will get a lot of support because you talk about consistency. He's Mr. Consistency. He's got hits in 19 of his last 20 games, and nobody notices because he does it all the time. Here's a guy that goes in there, you know what you're going to get. The difference between him and Luke is Markakis doesn't have the home run, so he doesn't have the run production.
Exactly. Home runs and RBI totals is what would work against him, but you're right. He's consistent. He's got the on-base percentage, that gold glove defense in right field. Koji might get some consideration if you just look at that second half and what he's done, but I think it's going to be Luke and Jeremy 1-2.
All right, Roch Kubatko, check him out, MASNsports.com, the School of Roch. He'll be here blogging all game long. You never know what you're going to see.
Never know.
He might even be in the lineup batting first at second base.